Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to class. Today we're doing our work in another kind of board in another side of the room. Okay, you might ask yourself, we're used to seeing that big board. It's okay. The reason why I use this board is because today's concept is very, very simple. Okay, all we're dealing with today is we're just dealing with triangles. Okay, different types of triangles. Today we're only going to focus on one half of the triangles. Next class, we're going to focus on the other half, okay? All you need to know today is we're going to focus on four types of triangles. One of those triangles is called a right triangle. The reason why it's called a right triangle is because when you draw your triangle, one side is always 90 degrees, okay? You might see it as just a number, as 90 degrees. You might also see it as a little box, okay? There's two ways you might see the angle, okay? Like I said, the reason why it's called the right triangle is because one of the sides has a 90 degrees, okay? The other two are usually just numbers that when you add all three together equal 180 degrees because a triangle equals 180 degrees, okay? So if you didn't know that a triangle equals 180, now you know. Remember, a right triangle always has one side that is at least 90, okay? You might see it again as a little square. You might see it as the number 90 in there, okay? Another one you need to get familiar with is, I didn't bring an eraser. Give me a second, guys. Another one that we have to get familiar with is, make sure you write it down. The other one would be an obtuse triangle, okay? Obtuse meaning one of the angles is more than 90 degrees. Meaning usually it looks like an open side, usually like this, okay? Notice that one of the angles, in this case the one at the bottom, is more than 90 degrees, okay? Again, the other two sides are usually different numbers depending on how does it equal 180, okay? The thing you have to mostly focus on is, again, if you can identify if it has an obtuse angle, then this is an obtuse triangle, okay? So all you have to really focus on each one of these triangles, if you have a right angle, an obtuse angle, and what's the next one? You guys can guess? An acute, right? That's the next one we're gonna focus on. So obtuse triangle between 91 through 179 degrees, okay? Again, the next one is acute. An acute angle usually have all small angles that are less than 90, okay? We might have a 60 here, we might have an 80 here, we might have a 40 here, okay? If you add it all up, it equals 180 degrees. Meaning, all the angles are less than 90, are less than 120. So you know that all the angles are acute. Okay? So if all angles are less than 90, then the triangle is an acute triangle. Acute triangle. We have one more to cover. Make sure you write it down. Make sure you have all the triangles up. Everything I write on the board, make sure you write it down on your notes, okay? And the last one we're going to focus, because remember, I said we're going to cover 4. The last one we're going to cover, it's called equal angular, okay? There's one that's similar. We're going to cover that next class. Today we're just going to cover angles. So the next triangle is called equal angular triangle. Angular triangle. If you look at this triangle here, okay, an equal angular triangle usually means that. It says it on the name, guys. Equal and then angle, okay, in a way. Equal and then angular. Angular is another way of saying angle, in fancier way. So equal angle. So you know that all the angles are the same. The only reason or the only way they can all be the same is, again, triangle equals 180. So 180 divided by 3 gives you 60. So all the angles have to be 60, okay? That tells us that it's an equal angular triangle. Sometimes you might see it as this as well. Sometimes you might see it like that. That means that all the angles are the same. Okay? So if you see it like this, or you see it with 60s on all the angles, that means that it's an equal angular triangle. Okay? So equal angles. And those are the 4 words you just needed to know for today. Okay? If you have any questions, guys, let me know. Make sure you have all the notes. Make sure you take a picture of your notes. Send it to me. And here's your assignment for today, okay? I'm going to take a little trip. Whee! Alright. Notice I have 4 triangles. Again, hint, hint. There's one for each, okay? So you have one that has a 67. A little square. If you guys remember what the little square equals. Hint, hint. It was on your notes. And then we have a 23. So tell me what kind of triangle that is. Then we have a triangle with all the sides the same. Okay. We have one with the 40, a 70, and a 70. Okay. And then the final one is 30, 120, and 30. So again, guys, make sure you write down all 4. If you need time, go ahead and pause the video. Now that you have them, make sure you solve for each one of them. So a total of 4 answers I'm expecting from you guys. Okay, 1 for each. Make sure you send me your answers as soon as you're done watching the video. And I'll be waiting for your email.